Now that we have set up our Sony Bravia Google TV, it's time for you to tweak your TV's image settings. So let me show you Fix369 recommended picture settings for most accurate and best picture quality on your Sony Bravia 4K Google TV. So let's dive right in. To view the changes better, you can play a high quality video from YouTube. In our case, we are just gonna use a still image. So let's bring up the settings panel. From there, first we need to select the correct picture mode. It will be set to standard by default, but if you want to view movies and TV shows the way intended, switch to cinema mode. After choosing cinema, the brightness may go all the way down to 5, so make sure the brightness is set to max. Now we can go to picture settings. And from here, first make sure that auto picture mode is disabled if you're on an HDMI input. After that, we'll go down to advanced and start from brightness. If you're viewing HDR content, then you can adjust the brightness according to your environment. But if you're viewing HDR content, then the brightness should always be set to max. After that, there's contrast, and it's best to keep it around 80. If you increase or decrease it too much, then you will lose details. Then we have gamma. Increasing it will lighten the picture, and decreasing it will make the picture darker. You can adjust it a few points according to your need. Next is black level, and the default value is 50, which is equal to 0. You should keep it as is. Right below that is black adjust. This is automatic, and it can make the darker parts of the picture more dark, which can result in loss of details. So you should keep it turned off. The last one on this list is advanced contrast enhancer. Again, this will let your TV change the contrast value on its own, which can override the changes that we just made. So I personally will keep it disabled, but you can always try the low or medium level and see how it feels. Just don't set it too high. Now we can move to color. The first two options, which are color and hue, should be kept as is. But if you prefer a more vivid image, then you can increase the color level a few points. And in case of color temperature, neutral, cool or warm is bluer than IRL. As you can see here, sunlight just isn't that blue. So the best option is Expert 1 or Expert 2. Choose either of them and you're good to go. We're gonna skip advanced color temperature and go down to live color. This is also an automatic option, so it's best to keep it turned off if you want accurate colors. Now let's move down to clarity. And in clarity, first we'll have sharpness. The default value is 50, which is equal to 0. Decreasing it will result in artificial smoothing, and oppositely, increasing it will result in artificial sharpening, which is bad, so we'll just leave it to 50. Then we have an interesting one, which is reality creation. This is actually digital upscaling, which can be helpful when you're viewing content that has low resolution, such as 720p, or it's just pixelated. In that case, you can turn on reality creation and bump up the resolution. Other than that, keep it turned off. The same goes for random and digital noise reduction. If you're viewing older content that's noisy or grainy, you can try turning it on and see if it helps. In other cases, they should remain disabled. Now we will move to motion. The motion settings will be available when you're playing a video. If you're viewing videos with low refresh rate, such as 27 FPS or 30 FPS, you can enable motion flow that will insert some extra frames to make it look smoother. So you should only use it when you're viewing content that has low refresh rate than your TV's native refresh rate. The last one on the list is Cinemotion. Enabling this will induce soap opera effect, which will make the video look blurry, so it's recommended that you turn it off. And lastly, we have video options. For this one, you need to switch to an HDMI input. The HDMI video range is the RGB range, which will be set to auto by default. You can either change it to limited or full. If you're not sure which one looks best, then just leave it to auto. And the last thing you should keep in mind, that you'll need to adjust these picture settings individually for every input. And that's it. Now you can view content on your Sony Bravia TV at their finest. Let us know how it went, and if this helped, don't miss that like button, subscribe for more quality content, and I'll see you around.